You see, one of the reasons for all these intrusive thoughts to turn into something bigger than being intrusive thoughts, that's because the way we treat it is unnecessary, definitely, and instead of ignoring it, we actually treat it, pay attention to it, and data hunt it, discuss with it, debate with it, and we give it that importance. And one of the reasons that we do this, beside all the other things that we talked about, malfunction of the brain, the caudate nucleus, and all the information that seeps through the consciousness, all irrelevant information, all the unnecessary information, uninteresting information to many different people, or different things are uninteresting and irrelevant, and people's lifestyle and everything else that is just, uninteresting to you for your daily life. But all this information somehow seeps into the consciousness, and the brain gets a hold of it and makes thoughts, and then intrusive thoughts are born. Because where does thoughts come from? From the information that is somehow found its way into our consciousness. And regardless that we're interested or not, that information is out there, and we are exposed to it by its information, and through videos and publications and media and discussions and programs here and there, we hear about them, or billboards and advertisement and so on. They want to sell products, make money, so they make all kinds of things that could help them sell products. But we are also become aware of that campaign, which does not involve us. The product does involve us, the marketing does involve us, but we as human beings on earth become aware of whatever is out there that is aimed and directed toward a different group of people, but we also get to hear it. So all that information finds its way into the consciousness, and brain doesn't know what's going on, just picks up whatever it's available possibly, and makes any kind of a thought possibly could be ever made out of that, because it's capable to make thoughts. And we talked about even it makes things that, through neural ensemble, which is not even, in reality can be made, but the brain has the capability of creating such images or such suggestions. But one of the other reasons that we get caught up with dealing with intrusive thoughts is because we are actually doing something that in the function of the brain, according to the neuroscience of habit, is something that is usual, but the way we deal with our daily life, that has seeped into our way of dealing and viewing and things that happens in life, which is not beneficial for us. What do I mean? Look, supposedly you're a smoker. This was explained in one of the presentations of Dr. Schwartz in regards to neuroscience of habits, and he put it brilliantly, and I tried to do justice to it, at least in a short version of it. If you are a smoker and you've created that habit of smoking, it's not your first time you're smoking, but you've been smoking for God knows how many years. So eventually, through neuroscience of habit, which Dr. Dan Grable is actually one of the world leading scholars and scientists and authorities on that note, has proven that there are a bunch of actions that takes place at the same time, and all together in the brain is considered as one action. Even though it's not one action, several actions, fragments of actions put together to create that, but in the brain, we consider that one action. How? Just like if you're a smoker. You take the packet, open the cellophane, open the lid of it, take one cigarette, put it on your lips, and then you have a fire, a lighter. You take it a few inches away from your face, which is all things that you're supposed to not to do. But you do that, and you puff a smoke into your lungs. All of that, all those taking it out of your pocket, taking the open, taking the cigarette, and taking the lighter and all that to you is only one move. Although it's all separate functions. But to you, it's a group of cluster of bunch of things taking place, is considered one action in the brain. It doesn't recognize it as several actions put together. It recognizes one thing. I smoke a cigarette. If somebody comes along after you did that and says, "Sir, were you aware that you took a packet out of your pocket and opened it up, took a cigarette, put it on your lips, and had a fire like close to your face and just lit this up?" You say, "No. You're only aware that you're smoking a cigarette." So in other words, the cluster has turned into one action, and that's what you're dealing with, not with the actual steps that it took to get there. Now, same thing when it happens with the intrusive thoughts. Pretty much, I'm trying to put the two and two together so you can see how it happens in the brain, and you're following in your daily behavior as if you're supposed to be dealing with one thing instead of considering all the other things that is included in that one thing to be real or not. Such as if intrusive thought shows up that suggests to you that you're some gender other than the gender that you are. Like, let's say you see, I don't know, you're heterosexual and you see a male and he's wearing a tank top and you see the naked body, and the naked body in everybody's brain, naked sex, everything naked leads to the next association to what? Why is it naked for? So naturally, we're all human beings. We know if you're naked, obviously we have either want to take a shower, we want to have sex, or things like that. So this connotation is known to every brain, a human being. So you see another same gender, maybe you see a muscle or a part of the body, and then you associate that with what is normally associated, naked body, sex. And then because that connotation came in, and then the brain picks up on it and comes up with all kinds of other intrusive thoughts about that sex, and because the trigger or starting point was a naked body of the same gender, then says, oh, that was a homosexual inclination or homosexual attention, and you get bamboozled. You think, you start hunting it, what does it mean, and so on. Why? Because we have been conditioned to deal with conclusions. We don't focus on, no, I'm focused on who I am. I'm heterosexual, therefore that thought, however it showed up, is irrelevant to me. Thought, brain makes thoughts, and thoughts can be there, but is irrelevant to me. Why should I associate it or believe that it has anything to do with me? You don't go anywhere. My life has always been like this way. I loved women, I like women, I enjoy women. My life has always been in heterosexual direction, and my functions and activities have been heterosexual. I've had no interest in. You don't go any of that. You go for the conclusion. What the conclusion is, the intrusive thought introduces or suggests that that was a homosexual reaction, therefore you're gay, and the gay as a word means something, and you can't contest the meaning of the word because it's in the dictionary, it has a meaning. So the conclusion is what you're focused on, homosexuality, rather than I'm not because of all these many reasons that it's automatic there. I don't even have to data hunt it or discuss it or explore it. I know it. And instead of focusing on what you are, what you know, how your life has always been, what you're interested in, what you want to be, you focus on the conclusion of the word homosexual or gay, because that's what the association of that thought or suggestion by the brain was, and you're stuck on the conclusion of what that is labeled. That what the brain suggested is labeled in word, and word has a meaning, and you go by the meaning of the word, and you're trying to react to the meaning of the word rather than reacting to who you are. That this is irrelevant to me. These are the things that you got to be aware of, that the brain plays with you. And you're not supposed to be subordinate to brain suggestion, but you're the boss and master. And that's what you should be focusing on, because you should only focus on what you are, what you want to be, what you prefer to be, and your reactions to thoughts and suggestions. Not the actual suggestions would mean anything to you. They're all meaningless. And you always have a choice. Your choice is what I've always been. I've been created and been born as. You're a heterosexual. Your choice is heterosexual. You love to be heterosexual. Suggestions mean nothing. And I choose to be what I've always been and continue to be, and that's what I love to be. That is what you focus, and that is how you interpret all these intrusive thoughts, regardless of what they are, and never be bamboozled by them. Continue your life in peace and tranquility and focus and enjoyment. I'll talk to you soon.